As an opera singer, I've been singing for approximately 15 years. I've had several roles across Canada and in Europe. And this is my first appearance in Trinidad with the Trinidad Opera Festival.
Came from Canada. I actually have a heritage from Trinidad. My parents are both from Trinidad and moved to Canada about 40 years ago or so.
My career as a classical singer thus far has been a process of learning a lot, and applying what I learned every now and then in certain performances or lecture demonstrations, or even in my personal private voice lessons I teach students.
Hoffmann is what I call the anti-hero. He is the realest of all the men I've ever played. Very much multi-dimensional, like a 3D character, what we would call like a meaty role. Very much a man that has been through so many things. He has loved, he has lost, and in the end he finds himself again.
Preparing for the role has been a very hectic and somewhat difficult experience, just because you have to balance being a student as well as pursuing and learning this role. But it's been exciting at the same time, because these roles are so exciting, and to be a man, that is a challenge like no other. You know, I'm very feminine, and so to look at how a man walks and talks and his hand gestures, how he sits down, those things, like that's part of preparing for your role, not just the music.
I get this comment a lot, that when I'm actually on stage and people who know me in real life, they're like, oh, you're such a quiet guy, you don't say much, you're jovial, and then they see this complete transition of someone on stage. And I think the reason why that happens to me is because it's like an almost excuse to be something different.
I find Trinidad to be quite an operatic place. If opera is really about ordinary people having ordinary experiences, but in a big way, opera is carnival. There's nothing more operatic than carnival. So I think it's a natural fit for Trinidad, even though the stories are not generated from here.
Homer is a lot of fun. He approaches things in a really natural and energetic way. So he really, especially working with a cast that's very varied. You've got some people that are coming in professional from Canada and from universities abroad, but you've also got some people that are complete amateurs at it. We have members of the cast who've never performed a full operatic role before.
Working with Elmer is very exciting. He is very eccentric. He's extremely eccentric. And for somebody who's not accustomed to that level of dramatization, it is exciting. It is extremely hard too, because you're being asked to step out of your normal regime, your realm.
I've been learning a lot. I think with this opera, I've learned the most that I've ever learned. Not just as a singer, but as an actor and a human being too. The character requires every single fiber inside of me. Every single thing has to be properly aligned, properly focused, otherwise it goes down.
Well, I think not just for Tales of Hoffmann, but for any show, any theatre happening, any performance, you know, support your own. Trinidad has so much talent, like we are overflowing with talent, but there's a dearth of opportunity.
Come ready to enjoy, come ready to explore different parts of the art form, different parts of the staging, and just prepare to be wowed and entertained. It's going to be good.
Opera is, I think, where we as performers get to express every part of us, and you get to come and see that. It's not every day you get to see that. It's more than anything you've ever seen, I think.
It's going to be exciting, it's going to be funny, it's going to be endearing, it's going to have gorgeous music. So by all means, you know, open your mind, it's going to be fantastic.
Well, it's just been a pleasure being here, and I'm very excited for the show. And I wish my cast members a great opening night.